What is going on, guys? Joey Franzo here with Flex Training Systems, and today we have the Coach's Corner with your boy Russel Orhii. Gonna be just breaking everything down, talking a little bit about his prep coming in. Um, I wanted to give a little bit of insight to kind of like my thought process on the day. I mean, obviously, you guys probably by far, the most requested question, or just thing that people were asking me about was, how are you going to handle, two lifters that, you know, two lifters on the same team on the same day. And the short answer to that is to just be as objective as possible. Imagine, um, imagine, being a robot that just saw things for how they are, how they were, and then just, kind of calling lifts appropriately based on that. At the same time, I told them both. I said, if we could, Russ, if we can pull a lift that's going to put Sean out of reach, I'm going to do that. Sean, if I can have you chip up, over whatever Russ pulls for the win, I'm going to do that. So, I mean, obviously, in that situation, Russ is done lifting. I can't pick any one. I just have to be as objective as possible. This is not my first time being in this situation. I think this is just the first time people really knew about it. So I'm very. This is not. I was not stressed at this. I was not. Worried about who's gonna do what or anything like that. I was just. These guys are both prepared. They're as prepared as they're gonna be. For this comp, and like, their numbers are very straight up. I'm gonna talk mainly about Russ in this video because this video is about him. But in the other one, after I put Sean's together, I'll break that one down. That one probably won't come out till Monday if it's Friday now. So Monday or Tuesday, I still have a shit ton of work to get through from nationals. But anyway, so the plan for Russ on squat, I'll pull it back a little bit, was to open here and then go for the American record on his second based on how it moved. Jesus fuck, that was fast. Um, and very easy for me to do my job when he makes things move like that. We put on, I believe it was 300.1 kg. Oh, no, 301 kg. 663 and some change. This would kind of, this should be a surefire lift. He did this in the gym like 2 or 3 weeks before. I had no doubts that this was going to fly. I just needed to make sure that it flew well so I could take a solid jump. It's very difficult to tell depth from here. It might have been close. But you know what? There's a lot of spotters there. I've seen a ton of squats throughout the day that were, up at, like, they could have gone either way. I think he may have just been a little bit too narrow here, but regardless, this is meet day. Anything can happen. There's no, you just have to take it. If he gets 3 whites, then if the lift passes, I have to take it. Now, when gauging Russ's squat, because he's so fast, all that really matters is the slowest point, right? That's all we really care about, right? I'll tell you where, right there, like right when he hits, like when the femurs hit that angle, right when he gets to this point, this is where I need to pay attention to what he's doing and say, okay, based on, like, if you're watching the whole lift as a whole, it's going to be like half a second. It looks super duper fast. But what really matters is, that sticking point, because no matter what, you're going to have to go through that point to get to, to complete the lift. And he got it. So, I'm not, that's all I'm looking at this point. I'm just trying to gauge that. I had Tina in the back with the video. So, I took a safe jump of only 7 kilos. Because we're in record territory, I could put whatever I want. I could have probably, I was debating between 6 or 7. I was actually debating between 8 or 7, and I went with 7. But looking back, I told Russ, hey man, you can just put this one on me. I mean, at the same time, everybody was like, you did the right call. He just has to execute. I don't really care who's right or wrong any which way. but I just hate to see a lifter miss. You know, I think he actually went a little deeper on this one. It just looked like this is the first time he's ever had 680 pounds on his back, so it could have been a shock for the body. Once you get into the hole like that, he could have, just lost tightness or something like that. There's a lot of different things that can happen. I truly believe that he was strong enough to lift this weight. This, I'm not gonna blame the bar and say that it was too whippy or anything. This was a whippier bar for sure. 100%. This new Titex bar is very different. I don't mind it. I mean, I lifted on the same bar and it was fine. But it does whip a little bit. I think maybe he just went slightly deeper than normal, or just lost a little bit of tightness, or, maybe we're just not used to the bar whip. There's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things that, can go through. Again, I jumped 7 kilos exactly, which is like 14 pounds, 15 pounds. It's all good. Yeah, so this is our pit crew. We had Tina, we had Brad. So at this point, I know that Russ was probably, well, he told me after the fact, but he thought that he lost. He was like, yo, man, I thought I lost after that squat. But, he did a good job of just, like, whatever the fuck goes on. It's like when you play, this is the thing, coaching athletes, right? Russ played football. Shit's gonna happen, right? You could have a terrible play. You could throw a freaking interception. You could fumble the ball. There's a lot of different things that can happen, but literally the next play, you have to forget about it and just focus on what's in front of you. Because if your mind is thinking about that squat that you missed, it's going to compromise the rest of your lifts. So he didn't show any falter. He didn't show any, kind of worry or anything like that, which is what you need to do. You just literally, you guys seen that shirt, stay in the pocket. You just got to stay in the pocket. Focus on what's in front of you. You still have more work to do, and and that's really it. So bench opener here of 402. Pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy. That was very awkward. I actually think that this is incorrect. I think that this is his third bench, and I'm pretty sure that was his third bench. And this is his second bench. Yeah. So there's like a little bit of mix up there on the attempts, but no worries. So right here, Russ knew that, I don't even know if you guys can tell, but he jumped the press command. Oh no, he jumped the start command. He jumped the start command. I'm not really too sure why they didn't give him, what the hell were they doing, waiting for him to put his arm down. It's not their fault. Maybe his feet weren't flat. It's honestly up to the judges, to their perception of what's happening. So this is just another angle of his third. Yeah. Okay. So pretty. I mean, it was kind of hard, but it was a perfect call. Now I'm saying 418. I'm not mad about it. I'm actually happy that we got that. I told him, hey man, if you make this lift, it kind of like just nullifies whatever mistake or whatever mistake or fuck up you have. That's the kind of like the theme of second attempts. If you can make your third, it's all good. So we went up anyway, trusting him to make it right. And you have to be a little ballsy sometimes at these meets. He's trying to win. We're not trying to just be super safe. I said coming into this meet that I was going to be a little bit more bold with these guys, hence why we went up after the miss. And I just got to put it on him at that point and be like, look man, I know it's there, you just got to execute, let's make it right. If we played it safe and retake it, he smokes the lift, and that's 5 pounds that we leave on the platform. So I wasn't about to do that. You got to know when to pull a trigger and when to just kind of lay off. Once the meat started to unravel and I started to see that, things were kind of in our favor, in his favor, right? Because we, like, imagine me, Russ, and Sean are like a symbiote, right? We're just like one being. So it's all we. Everything is we. So, Sean, so initially, right? Actually, I'm gonna rewind it back to bench a little bit. Initially, I thought that Sean was gonna jump 10 kilos on bench. I'm not allowed. I can't jump 10 kilos with Russ on his bench, and then Sean gains ground. Sean might outpull Russ, and then that's over. Like I mean, Sean would obviously have some ground to gain, but um, that didn't happen. Sean overdid his sodium, and it screwed him over, and it allowed Russ to kind of just do his thing. So I'm really happy with his deadlift because if you guys remember at Worlds, Russ's pull was kind of off just because we were dealing with the back thing, and I think that the shoes that he was using at Worlds were like too high, right? So we got him in slippers now. We took the soles out. So plus this bar has a little bit more bend to it than the Alico. So all these like factors combined, and we've had consistent deadlift training with no injuries, right? So no problems on that front really for the last I would say 8 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that. Russ's progress is literally a function of like how long we can train without getting hurt, right? So the more weeks we go without getting hurt, just it's like his gains are just gonna keep going, right? Um, Very solid opener there. It was kind of difficult for me to gauge, just because he got faster like as we went. So I didn't want to be too aggressive, but 300 kg here. This is where I really started to think, okay, he's good today. Like he's on today. That was like his third, not even his third at Worlds. I'm gonna run that back because that was strong, man. Like this makes me so happy because this was just such a speed bump. And I even told him on his third, dude, if you have to round a little bit, I don't even give a shit. As a round back, as the ambassador of all round back boys on the planet, you have my permission to fucking round to get this shit done. So very solid there. I think we could have probably gone, looking back, maybe 15 kilos. He probably had 700 on this day. But, so really quickly before we keep going, let me just break down the situation. So Sean's third deadlift was to give Sean the win if Russ missed his third. But because it was the same weight that Russ had to pull, and because Russ had a different lot number, like a higher, I believe it was a higher or lower lot number, I don't remember. It had to have been lower, I believe. Russ got to go first, I believe. So this means that Sean can't just go over whatever Russ pulls. Plus, I don't think Sean had it on this day. So I asked Russ, hey man, like if you really want, we could just go up 5 kilos, put this thing in the bag, get out of here. It's over. Like there's no way you're gonna lose, and that's it. But Russ said, you know what, I want to go for the 800. Shouldn't be too hard of a thing, a jump. It was only 10 kilos. This is the weight that he's done before. Like I said, his back was good, so I had no doubt this was gonna fly. I just didn't know it was gonna be that easy on the day. I kind of had other people in my ear, telling me, "Oh man, he's only got 5, he's only got 7 kilos." Left after that third. So I still went with the 10, but I was kind of thinking, 12 to 10, something like that. That's the thing about having other people around you. You just gotta really stick to your guns. Like consider their feedback, but stick with like what you feel, is best. This is a safe lift for him. Jesus, man, definitely, I'm lit. You can see me losing my shit, but it was so happy to see him, just kind of happy on deadlifts, a lift that's just been giving us trouble. We did what we needed to do this prep. I need to watch this again because it was so, like, I'm trying to gauge, like, if I was calling a fourth attempt. I think he probably had 7. He could have probably died for 7, or definitely 694. 100%. So that'll like the next meet is 700. Like depending on how much time we have, we might be able to make 7 something close to a second. So it was a great fight. between these two, and this is the thing about having that camaraderie. Just having that someone on the same team to kind of push you is uh, you know, he's gonna work harder because he's on his ass. He's gonna work harder, because he's trying to catch him and he knows he's coming for him. So it's like when you have that, I think it puts a level of just accountability, just determination, and work ethic. I mean, not that either of these two need any more of any of those things. They both have shown me that they're gonna do whatever the fuck it takes to be ready on the day. Obviously, there's still more challenges ahead. Russ is gonna have to go against Gibbs, and that is like Gibbs is like a source of just someone that really pushes these guys, both literally. So it's great to have someone to choose to push you. I literally don't know how to speak. And it was just an awesome experience. It was a meet that I was ready to get over with, just because there were a lot of unknowns. I didn't know how things were gonna play out. I didn't know because like there's things that I don't understand, uh, like technical things that I wasn't sure how they were gonna play out. Um, just because I don't know is there gonna be problems with depth? Are we gonna have problems with Sean's deadlift with the up and down and things like that? So just these unknowns that I don't have control over kind of made me like antsy, like let's get this over with so we can like put this thing behind us. But I was not nervous. I was not, I just needed to do my thing, and they did their thing. And Russ is a fucking fantastic game day competitor. He just does what he needs to do. He just lifts, he just tackles what's in front of him, and I think that's something that a lot of younger lifters can try to be like or replicate. Shout out to the whole fam that was out there. It was great seeing everybody. This was day 2, so we had the 83 dudes and the 63 women here, and some leftovers from the day before. But yeah, it was a great experience. Just doing that, and I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, man. Again, Russ's deadlift is literally like, if he doesn't get hurt, the sky's the limit for this guy. That was his first time on squat handling that 680, and next time that shit's gonna fall. And I'm proud. I'm proud of him for the work he's put in. I'm proud of him for not letting that adversity, that discouragement that comes from the whole back thing, kind of bleed into his performance. And yeah, man, it was just great. I mean, Sean very well could have had it. It was just a post weigh-in thing, very minor thing that he needs to fix. Russ is gonna get better now. Sean's gonna keep getting better. I think Russ is the second 83 ever in the history of the USAPL to total 800 kg, along with John. So, I think Sean's going to be next. And it's been an honor and a privilege to, be a part of these young guys' journey, and just seeing them grow throughout the years and stuff like that has been just very rewarding for me. 4 years with Sean, coming up on about 18 months. May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, like 17 months with Russ, and just his super meet's coming. His super meet's coming. It's crazy, If somebody says who's gonna be the future, who's gonna be the next guy, both of these guys have a ton of potential. Obviously, I think if Sean could really put those technical things behind him, it's gonna help him a ton. But Russ is just literally it's a function of him not getting hurt. That's it. But yeah, guys, I hope you were able to take something away from this. So like I said, I'm going to do the Coach's Corner with Sean down the road. Very, just quick summary. I think just continuing to make sure Russ's squat depth is on point is really the only technical thing, and staying tight in the hole that I really want to focus on. Bench, this prep I didn't bench was not the focal point. The main focus was just giving him pounds on the lifts, that are going to give him the most on the platform for this meet. We already dedicated an entire previous prep to bench, and he put 7.5 kilos on his bench very easily that prep. I might have him do a phase where we bring the bench up, really just like move that thing up, and we can get that around 440, and then we can go back to focus on, the other two, then I think just because of how his recovery works and how, the keys that I need to use to unlock his potential are a little bit different than, everybody else, as is Sean, as is, literally most of the people on the team, especially if they're, the more advanced you get, the more complicated things get. And then on deadlifts, I think we did everything right on pulls. I think if we just, keep doing what we're doing, I'm losing my mind. I think if we just, really just keep his back healthy, and I could do his normal progressions in training, and I think his pull is going to continue to come up. I know he's capable of so much more. This day was a reminder to me of what we can do when he's not hurt. He comfortably hit this, which is, it's always nice to know that he has more. And seeing a blue plate on there is going to look super dope. But yeah, that's it for the Coach's Corner. Thank you guys so much. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me get better today in the comments below, because this one is about the boy, young king. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, again, thank you guys. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.